Today's video, I'm going to show you how to install these Lumary Eve lights onto your house. Super simple to install, and these are going to completely transform the outside of your house. Whether you've got Christmas lights that you don't like hanging, or you want to have lights on your home for other holidays throughout the year, you can even put these on a lower light setting and just have a nice lit up house all year round. So let me show you how to install these. You don't need very many tools. You will need a ladder or some form of getting up to your eaves on your house. You will need some cloth or paper towel like I have to wipe the eaves before installing these lights if you're using the 3M tape, because they are double-sided, or you can use a screw. 3M tape is just going to be so much easier to install these. So you need to make sure that's clear before installing. So let me show you what we've got and the process for installing them. They do come in different lengths of light string. I have 105 feet here, which has 80 lights. So just make sure to measure and then get the one that's right for you. I've got 3 boxes here. 1, 2, 3. So if you want to secure these with fasteners, just slide this off to the side in direction of the wire. Secure this to your eave or however or wherever you're going to be putting these. Bring your light up to your clip that you just secured onto that. Before I install these, I'm going to make sure they work. So I'm going to connect these together. Connector, just a 3-pin standard outdoor connection. Push that together, and then we can tighten that up. I'm going to add all 3 together just to make sure that everything does work. See what they look like. Oh, they're bright. I say they work. Ooh. What's it doing? Ah, it's pretty cool. Okay. Kind of a chasing. So you could see there when I pressed one of the buttons, it was doing a chase pattern. So we want to make sure that when we install these, in a way that if I use that setting, that it chases around nicely. It doesn't like chop and change and go in a way that doesn't make sense. So when you're installing these, make sure that you install these in a way that kind of flows around your house. It's best start from bottom right and then work your way up and around. So I'm going to run mine along my first floor and then see how that looks first. Here on our front deck, and this is where our power supply is, and this is where I'm going to start these lights farthest right of our house. So we'll get this area cleaned off first. Now if you have really dirty soffits, you might need to get some type of solution out to clean them, but these are just dusty, so I get away with just giving them a good wipe down. Make sure you create yourself a little spacer. I put this at 2 inches because it might be 2 inches to 4 inches from the soffit or the wall. Now I'm going to have to put some of these on a gutter, so I went with 2 inches just so there's not so much of a difference between the soffits and the gutters. The light that gets put down onto the wall or projected onto the wall from these lights is going to look very similar across the board. Except I'm going to put some of these a little bit closer than 2 inches. And to confirm with Lumary, and they said that is okay. Get yourself a spacer, and this is going to give you perfect spacing for every single light. And make sure you push these tabs on properly. So I've got my little spacer, put my spacer up, pull the light to it, and then put that in place. Make sure not to push anything in too much. Push the light up, hold it here for a few seconds. Now where I'm going to have trouble is on a ridge, but we'll see how we keep on going. It's really be a 2-person job, but I don't have a second person. Spacer, light, push. Really simple install actually. So do that. I do pitch a bit of a fit about hanging up the Christmas lights every year. Either it's too early or I just don't want to do it. It's cold. I don't want to get my fingers all chewed up when you have to put those little S-hooks. You know the S-hooks that you have to hook on for Christmas lights that you put along soffits? Yeah, I don't like them. They break. Your fingers are cold. Yeah, it doesn't work very well for me. Before I figure out the path on how I'm going to get the lights from here down to there, I'm going to tuck this cable away that's hanging down. I had to make it a little bit short, otherwise it wasn't quite going to fit into where I wanted it. Lumary also supplied these clips here. You can fasten them in, or they have 3M tape on the back. So I'm going to peel this off, and I'm going to hold this wire up just to make it look a little bit neater as we're going now. I don't want to come back and then have to go through and do this later on. That looks nice and neat. I've just had an ingenious plan. Sometimes you just have to improvise with these things, because as you can see, this 20-foot run doesn't really fit just here, and then I can't get it to where I want it to be. I've got two things I could do. I could run it along the top of the window. I think that might look a little bit odd because the wind is going to be shining straight into the window. Other areas, you have the space above the window where the light's going to shine down onto the siding. So it's not actually going to be straight into the window. And I'm going to stick these lights so it's going to shine up against this part of the wall here. I'm going to run it down. And then I just found a soffit down here. We've cleared out some of these leaves, but I have a soffit under here. So I'm going to run these lights in here, and I think it's going to look really good lighting up here. And here we have two other extenders that are going to allow us to go between areas that we don't need lights and to light areas that we do need lights. So that's really handy to have, so you don't want to have lights on areas maybe you don't want to put lights there. So got the next set of lights here. I actually picked the same ones I had connected into this first run when I did my test. Doesn't matter too much, but I want to make sure that they work, and we know they work already. Easy, just push that together like that, tighten it up, and get the rest of these lights on to the garage door. We have this overhang over our garage, and I wasn't sure if we should run the lights along the soffit over here and skip the garage, but I was thinking if I put the lights along here, there's nothing for the lights to shine against. So I've come all the way into this little overhang, so I'm going to run them all the way along the side, along the front of the garage door, back out, and then we can finish off this first floor. Could be a straight shot then once we get to our front porch. Keeping the same spacing, got my little spacer here. I did lose it in the leaves, but I found it. And there we have it, the lights are installed. It didn't take too long. It probably took me around about an hour and a half to clean the soffit area and install the lights. Really like how well this went together and super easy to install. Now we just need to connect the app. Now I already have the app, so you go in here and then you can easily add new devices once you open the app. So you can see here that I am connected to the lights now, and that means that I can start to control these lights with my phone. If you don't have the Lumary app, I recommend you download that, and then you can set this up once you've got the lights installed. Alternatively, you can just use the remote that did come with the lights, so you can control them without the app if you want, but the app does give you a lot more customization of the lights that the remote doesn't. In the app, you can control all the lights as one, or you can pick individual lights and change the color of the lights by themselves. So you can make one light really yellow, one light really white. You can change the brightness of the lights. So if you've got a light above a window or somewhere that you don't want to have light too bright, you can then change that. In the Lumary app, they have these preset themes where you can pick from different holidays. So you could do Christmas, you could do Halloween, you can do Valentine's, different things like that. So they have predetermined light shows like this that you can easily set. You can also customize them. You can change the brightness and you can change the speed. So we have a chasing pattern going on here, and you can turn these up so they go a little bit faster across the house. I like the standard setting on this one here, but there's so many different combinations you can have with these Lumary lights. It's going to completely change the game, especially for Christmas lights. I really like this because I never have to take these down and put them back up again. I will leave a link to these Lumary lights down in the description below, so if you are interested in getting a set for yourself, you can easily find them. So if you did enjoy this video, you want to see more DIY content around the home, make sure you check out this next video here.